lists. So many names being thrown around as possible running mates for both these candidates. Let's talk about who they're going to end up with. Joining us, we have former Edwards Communications Director Chris Kofinas. On the left, on the right, we have GOP pollster Chris Wilson. He was executive director of the Texas Republican Party when George W. Bush was governor there. Chris Kofinas, I don't want to put you in an awkward position of not picking your former boss, but if you can have a moment of real, true honesty here, who is going to be the choice for Barack Obama?
You know, the chattering class, for what that chatter is worth, I think is really focusing on basically three names. Tim Kaine, I think, is the front runner right now.
Governor of Virginia.
Evan Bayh, yeah, Governor of Virginia. Senator Evan Bayh from Indiana is also close. And Senator Joe Biden from Delaware, also close. I think it's going to be one of those three. You never know. There could always be a name that comes out of left field. But I really think it's the list has been narrowed, if I had to guess. And
Chris Kofinas, we got two Chris's here. So Kofinas, I want to stay with you for just a second because this group Vote Both, which was pushing the Obama-Clinton ticket, said today they're basically shutting down. Is that the right thing to do? They said they got the sense she's got no shot at it.
Well, I mean, I think she's on the short list, but I think on the, if those are the three names, I think she's probably fourth or fifth on that list. I mean, Senator Clinton ran a great campaign, especially the last 3 months, proved she was a very formidable candidate, but I think she's a difficult choice, evidently, for the Obama campaign right now, and I just don't think it's likely.
Does he put her on the short list just because he kind of has to put her on the short list for public reasons?
No, I think she's earned the right to be on the short list. I mean, she proved not only is she a substantive candidate, not only does she have a policy vision for the country, but she was a great campaigner. Those last 3-4 months, she proved, I think, how strong she is as a candidate. But I think, for Obama's candidacy and wanted to kind of focus on that change message, it probably serves him better to go in another direction. That's why I think Kaine is probably leading the list right now.
Chris Wilson, who's leading it for John McCain? You saw those numbers that Scott Rasmussen just gave us about the high negatives for Mitt Romney, though if you look at the media reports, he's said to be right at the very top.
He is, and I think you have to look at, there's probably 4 people maybe that are at the top of the McCain list. You've got Romney, who's up there, no question about it. You've got Pawlenty, who's up there, governor of Minnesota. You've got Bobby Jindal, governor of Louisiana. Then you've probably got Portman from Ohio, who's also on the list. And then there's a few other people floating out there. And one of the things about John McCain is you never know what's going to happen until it actually does happen. And so you could see a Tom Ridge come in. You could see a conservative pick like Mike Pence, congressman from Indiana, come in. I mean, there's just a lot of people who could enter into the picture at the last minute.
Chris Wilson, I want to stay with you. This race question that was brought up today, brought up by the McCain campaign. They said Obama was using it. He's the one that initially put it out into the public by saying they're trying to tell you to be scared of me because I don't look like all the other people on the dollar bills. Dangerous for McCain to bring it up?
Well, I think it's actually dangerous for Obama to bring it up. I think what happened, this is a huge strategic mistake for Obama, and I think there's a little bit of frustration by his campaign's part that they didn't get more of a bounce out of their world tour, that the popularity that he's getting from, that he receives, that 200,000 people turn out in Berlin, yet he can't pull away from John McCain. And I think that's manifesting itself through frustration in these comments and playing the race card, and it's not smart because those conservative Democrats you just ended up talking about, they don't like to be charged with the sort of undertones that comes from making those comments about that Obama's done is if I don't look like someone who's on a dollar bill, then you're not going to vote for me, and that's going to backfire.
Chris Kofinas, I truly only have 20 seconds or I'm going to get yelled at in my ear by these producers. Your response?
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, unfortunately, John McCain is running an increasingly desperate campaign, using desperate tactics. I mean, negative ad after negative ad. His own advisors, his former advisors, guys like John Weaver, know this is not the right strategy. If John McCain wants to play that game, unfortunately, I think it's going to be a losing game.
Okay, good. I've got no screaming yet. Chris Kofinas, Chris Wilson. Thanks to both of you guys.
Thank you.
Legalizing marijuana.